Today's burning question: when will the public payroll pension crisis cut services in your town? South suburban Harvey just laid off police and firefighters because their pension funds are going broke and require millions of dollars Harvey may not have. Joining us today, Laurence Msall, president of the Civic Federation and an expert on this crisis, and Harvey's Alderman Christopher Clark. Alderman, as I understand it, there were about 12 of 81 police officers laid off in Harvey, 18 of about 50 firefighters. What does that mean for the town?
That means that we're basically going to have a reduction in services. Harvey, with its crime rate and the current condition of the city, really needs as much city services as possible. So that reduction takes an extreme toll on the citizens in the city of Harvey.
Laurence Msall, you just had a conference on this statewide crisis because Harvey's not the only town. There's hundreds of towns across Illinois facing some version of this. You were at the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago with some big, deep thinkers. What's the solution?
The solution is that the state of Illinois has to step up and recognize that it's not just a state pension crisis, but a local government pension crisis. We have to get a consolidation of the local pension funds into an oversight board that has the power to basically demand financial disclosure, demand transparency, so that we can actually assess the situation.
All right. Now, under Mayor Eric Kellogg down in Harvey, for many years, the town didn't even do an audit of any kind. Now, they've been forced to in recent years. Are you satisfied with the audits that you've seen from Harvey?
Not enough to basically understand, how Harvey got into this situation, but more importantly for the residents of Harvey, how they're going to get out of this. You're cutting an enormous amount of police and fire protection. That's 24-hour services. These people in Harvey are paying some of the highest property taxes in the state of Illinois, and now they're going to get even less services than they already do. That's not conscionable.
Now, I should say that I've tried to talk to Mayor Eric Kellogg from Harvey for years. He literally runs away when our cameras show up. Alderman Clark, you represent a slice of Harvey. What's the solution from your end?
We believe that the suggestions that have been made prior are basically not a fix because we don't have full transparency to know what's going on in the city. Until we have a full financial picture, you can say there can be a consolidation of debt, you can say reform the pensions, but the bottom line is no one knows what the city of Harvey really needs because the city of Harvey has not been transparent.
So is there any way that we don't have to pay these pension debts?
If the city of Harvey should be approved by the Illinois General Assembly to file bankruptcy, it's possible that some of the debt could be adjusted. But think about what that really means. The people that have provided these services that are now in the twilight, of their time, don't have the pension benefit, the security to rely on.
Now, Governor Rauner wants the Chicago Public Schools to file for bankruptcy.
We don't think that bankruptcy is the answer. It's certainly not the easy answer to the complicated problem in Harvey, the Chicago Public Schools, other places. You have to recognize that bankruptcy does not provide any more money to a municipality. It doesn't provide more resources. The state has an obligation, having created the municipalities, creating the school districts, and most importantly in this case, creating the pensions and the pension benefits. The state needs to come in and provide some relief for the residents of Harvey, the people that have done nothing wrong, that have gone to work every day, that have paid their taxes and are getting less and less services.
And Alderman Clark, I'll let you jump in a minute, but of course it isn't just Harvey. It's where the firefighters are at 22% funding. They should be at 80% plus. The town of East St. Louis is at 13%. Sauk Village is at 21% down in the south suburbs. Go ahead.
Look, we have the only mayor in the United States of America that's been banned from participating in municipal bonds for financial irregularities.
It was involving a motel that was going to be redone, and a bunch of money disappeared.
That's correct, but the only one in the United States of America. Our simple issue is until the state has the ability, the state has the authority to provide the oversight and the transparency. We need that right away. This is not something that we can wait on. We've been begging for the past 2 to 3 years, for them to do something about it, and they've done absolutely nothing.
Right. So what I hear you saying, Laurence Msall, is that for the most part, taxpayers are going to have to foot these bills.
Without a doubt.
Is this going to crush our economy?
Well, the city of Harvey is not going to crush the overall economy. What's crushing the economy in Illinois, and there are parts of it like the city of Chicago where we're seeing great economic growth, but what is hurting Illinois is the lack of investment across the state. And the worst thing to do to trigger investment is uncertainty. People don't buy properties in Harvey because they don't know what the tax rate is going to be and what the full liabilities are. They don't have the confidence in Harvey, and as you pointed out, Harvey is the tip of the iceberg in terms of these municipal disasters that are unfolding around the state of Illinois. You have the list, 30%, underfunding in different parts of the state. Even the state capitol, where the legislature operates, is having a very difficult time making their municipal pension contributions. And what has been the response in a significant way on how to help the locals? Not very much. That's a problem in Illinois.
So let me tell you, let me call the roll. There's a group called Wire Points, and a researcher named Ted Dabrowski compiled this. Firefighter funds, Harvey's at 22%, East St. Louis 13%, Riverdale in the south suburbs at 48%, Westmont at 62%. They're pretty good. You want to be close to 80. Roberts Park 49%. So tax increases are coming. And you say, let's at least know what the tax increase is going to be.
Let's figure out.
Let's do it.
Let's make sure we're not throwing good money after bad, that we're actually the money is going to go to the place where it needs. Where you need to be in a pension in order to operate is 100%. When you drop below 100%, you're increasing the cost.
All right, so at your conference at the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago, if I'm recalling correctly, somebody said overall we need about a 20% tax increase to bring all these funds up to 100%.
You are not going to get a 20% tax increase in this environment unless you have something to show on the other side that it's going to really balance. Pensions are not the only concern for the citizens of Illinois. They're an important one, but the idea that they take priority over education, public safety, transportation, they are crowding out those services in municipalities, but also in the state of Illinois. We need a comprehensive solution.
I know your voters, Alderman Clark and Harvey, won't be happy with the 20% tax increase.
Taxes are not the fix, in my opinion. The city of Harvey, since 2003, 2004, has spent almost $70 million over budget. That could have taken care of our pension crisis right away. Now, it seems like people want to wrap it into everything that's going on in the state, specifically in Harvey, and make Harvey that poster child. Harvey is not that poster child. Harvey has unique circumstances. If you can spend $70 million over budget over the past 15 years, then you could have paid an $18 million pension fund deficit, and you could have actually contributed more to the pensions.
All right.
I think that a lot of people are putting the cart before the horse and trying to come up with these solutions because it's the catchy issue of the day, but really there needs to be a severe examination of the city of Harvey.
Alderman Christopher Clark, Laurence Msall from the Civic Federation. I should say once again, Mayor Eric Kellogg of Harvey, we'd love to have you come on. We'll put you here and we'll talk about all of this when we come back after this break. My hot take. A quick footnote now about our discussion of South Suburban Harvey, where dozens of police and fire layoffs were triggered by a crisis at the firefighters' pension fund about to go broke. When I invited Harvey's Mayor Eric Kellogg to join us, his spokesman snapped, "Of course not." No surprise. He knows that Mayor Kellogg's energetically avoided me and other reporters over the years. The spokesman later called back saying he had the mayor on the line and that he would come to join us. I told him we had moved ahead with this week's show, but we would welcome the mayor to join us in the future. Mayor Kellogg made no response, but the offer remains open. Thanks for watching. See you next week.